We're standing here with Sheriff Joe Arpaio of Arizona. Sheriff, we want to say thank you very much for taking a few minutes with GraniteGrok. You're here today to help out the Republicans, and obviously you're national news no matter where you go. And I think a lot of us who write on GraniteGrok and those of our readers say thank you very much for upholding one of the conservatives' best rules of Western classical liberalism, the rule of law. We see that Arizona is really under attack for simply modeling and then upholding, and you are enforcing the rule of law. People may not like the laws, but you have to, and you've been tasked in enforcing the law. Obviously, you're under attack for doing so. What are your thoughts on that?
I'm a senior citizen. I have an old philosophy: when you shake hands and make a deal, you're supposed to keep your promise. And that's just shaking hands. So when you have a law and you take an oath of office, you really should fulfill that oath that you took. So as the elected sheriff, I'm elected by the people. I take that very serious. So when we have state laws regarding illegal immigration, I wonder why I'm the only law enforcement agency in Arizona enforcing the human smuggling and the employer-sanctioned laws. But that's not, I don't criticize other politicians or law enforcement. I'm just trying to tell you, those laws are on the books. If you have laws on the books, they should be enforced, or take them off the books.
Well, certainly we have not as a larger problem as you do down in Arizona, obviously, but we do have an illegal immigration problem here. And a couple of years ago, the chief of police in New Ipswich arrested several illegal aliens, and I do emphasize the word illegal aliens, not undocumented people, and they were let go. And I think it's mostly because of political correctness has just run a poison thread throughout the United States and its political system. You're under attack by Obama's administration, both you personally as sheriff and Arizona as a state. Do you think political correctness has anything to do with this?
Well, I think it's a political issue. It's an economic, diplomatic, law enforcement, and political. Let's not forget that. So I think this whole issue, probably the number one is politics.
And why do you think they're trying to do this and hammer on you versus anybody else?
Well, I don't know. I've been very active. Over 40,000 we've investigated, arrested, or detained. 1/4 of the whole United States, when you talk about law enforcement. I've had 100 deputies trained by the Homeland Security of the Bush administration, and they took it away, that authority, under the Obama administration. So you could, and all the people that have been going after me in Congress, mayors and the government, are all Democrats. So sometimes this must be a political situation when it's all the Democrats going after me. The law is the law. I don't think the law should distinguish between a Republican or Libertarian or whatever. You're supposed to lock everybody up that violates the law. That's my philosophy.
Well, certainly it is ours as well. There's the law, you enforce it. If you don't like it, change the law, but until then, you enforce it.
I understand that the Bureau of Land Management has been putting up signs along highways in Arizona instructing citizens not to go in those areas because of the drug trafficking and the violence. Do you think that, or do you see that as the federal government ceding property in a sovereign country to Mexican drug lords?
Well, I don't know that, but they're in my county, these signs too. It's kind of distasteful to put up signs and say, watch out, as you're coming through. Do we put up signs in Boston and everywhere else? Say, watch out, we have murders and rapes, and don't come through Boston because of the possible danger? You don't do that. The sign should be, you come across, we're going to lock you all up. That's what the sign should say.
The constitutional value says the number one priority of government is to protect its citizens. And obviously the Obama administration is not, and your governor, although you don't report to her, you work with her because of your elected status, wishes nothing to do but protect its citizens. Why do you think that the Obama administration, Eric Holder, is basically saying, here's a free land to anybody who wishes to go through, and there's no legal authority in it. Again, going back to Steve's question about the signs, what political motivation do they have for this?
Well, I think it's a big package. It's not just that. It's the securing the border, cracking down in the interior. I believe in cracking down in the interior of the United States on illegal immigration, whether it's here or Phoenix or New York. Everybody talks about securing the border. It's very easy to always blame the border, which is important. But why don't they start saying once you come across, we're going to enforce the law and arrest you, whether it's in Nashua, New Hampshire. If you're here illegally, you have violated that law by coming into this country. So why does anyone talk about arresting people that are already here? But it's an easy cop-out for politicians to always say, secure the border, secure the border. Why don't they say, let's lock them up when they come across the fence?
You know, I think there's a lot of us that would certainly agree with you, and there's a lot of people out there that agree with what's going on in Arizona. Latest polls say 70% of folks want laws like Arizona in their own states. So, you know, be assured there's a lot of us behind you, sir.
Let me say, a lot of people have been behind me before this new law. I've been the poster boy for 3-4 years on illegal immigration. Now, this new law has made it more, but the people already were angry. They already knew what this sheriff was doing. The Justice Department's been after me way before this new law. So, but the new law is important too. But it's misread. It's not as bad as people think it is. I'm still doing the same thing anyway, even though that new law is not in effect. So we're getting by okay. This sheriff's office.
Very good. And we thank you for that. I said I would keep this quick, and I want to say thank you very much. Just 2 quick questions, and then we'll be done. First off, if you go out and meet with the protesters, would you allow us to stand by you and with you?
I wouldn't do it without you. Why would I meet with them in private?
And you mentioned...
Anybody read this thing?
We're the leading conservative blog here in New Hampshire. They're blog sites, so we get a lot of readership. So yes, you will be seen, trust me. The other thing is, in the previous interview, you mentioned that this is the state where the presidential primaries are first held. Who's your running mate for vice president going to be?
I don't know. You have to. First of all, you got to be president, run for president before you think who your running mate is.
Well,
so I don't know. If I was really serious, I would have ran for governor. I could have been the governor, no doubt about it, and then launched a election for president. So I'm not here running for. I'm here to help the Republican Party, and I don't know. Who knows what fate brings? I never thought I'd be the sheriff for 18 years of being known around the world. I'm just a little old sheriff from Maricopa County, which, by the way, we have 4 million people in Maricopa County.
Which is almost 4 times.
There's a few extra floating around.
Which is almost 4 times the number of people here in this state.
So I have, is that right? I don't know what the population is.
1.3 million.
You guys, I got 4 million people in the county I'm responsible for.
Well, we want to say thank you very much for taking time with a couple minutes with GraniteGrok.